recognize Congressman Brad Wenstrup from the great state of Ohio.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman Takano, Ranking Member Boss, for holding this Member Day hearing, giving us the opportunity to testify on important issues facing our veterans today. As a former member of this committee, it's great to be back with all of you. And while I may have left the committee, I haven't stopped working for our nation's veterans. I know that one of the committee's top priorities this year is dealing with toxic exposures. We've been hearing that today, including open burn pits that may have harmed our warfighters during their service and contributed to lingering health effects. Having served in Iraq, I understand that in addition to the immediate dangers of war, there are costs of service that may not become clear until years later. And that's a concern with burn pits and their potential to cause disease years after exposure. The effects of burn pits, which were once a daily ritual in combat zones, have become a serious health concern, obviously, to the servicemen and women who are exposed to them during their deployments. So as both a service member and as a physician, I'm committed to promoting efforts to determine the health impacts of burn pits and what can be done to assist those that have been exposed. As co-chair of the Congressional Burn Pits Caucus with my friend Dr. Ruiz, I appreciate the work being done in the Veterans Affairs Committee to address the issue of burn pits and other toxic exposures to ensure that our service members get the answers they deserve and as much, obviously, the care that they need. So I'm proud to be a co-sponsor of Ranking Member Boss Toxic Exposure in the American Military Act, or TEAM Act. This is a serious proposal that will establish a new framework for dealing with toxic exposure issues, a framework I hope and believe will be much more successful than the long and difficult process that we learned lessons from responding to Agent Orange exposure in Vietnam. I'm also interested in working to improve and expand the VA's Airborne Hazards and Open Burn Pit Registry. That's a key component to this, the registry, and I'm proud to lead the Burn Pits Registry Enhancement Act with Dr. Ruiz, which would direct the VA Secretary to ensure that upon the death of an individual that's on the burn pit registry, an immediate family member of the deceased individual or executor of the deceased person's estate can update the registry with the deceased individual's cause of death. It's important for those that come after us and for those that are in this registry and for those working on this to have all the information that we need. As the burn pits registry is expanded and Congress exercises oversight on burn pit related issues, this bill would help to improve accuracy in identifying causes of death of the individuals registered on the burn pit registry. So this will help us get better data on the health outcomes of veterans exposed to burn pits. We can learn something from treatments they may be getting, and it will in turn make the registry a more useful tool to examine the effects of burn pit exposure and better inform our policies and treatments going forward. So as the committee continues its work this year to prepare legislation addressing these exposures, I hope that you'll consider the legislation that I've discussed today as a key part of that effort. And I want to thank everyone once again for holding this hearing, giving me the opportunity to speak on these issues. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you, Congressman Wenstrup. At this time, I'd like